Hey, good afternoon. Yeah, good afternoon, good morning. How everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing well. Back again today, and wanted to come on today, man, and get back with the people and get right into it and talk about the Perry County, Alabama 2022 and 2024 voting analysis. I did that this morning, and I wanted to have an open and honest discussion about it. Just have that discussion about it and really jump into the numbers. This is continuing on with my efforts of raising awareness back, and I've been focused on Perry County, but back in the Black Belt. But this is my efforts to just raise awareness and look at numbers, look at facts. Facts, truth over feelings, over the emotions, and wanted to have that discussion today. Man, I hope everybody's doing well. I'm excited. Today is a special day for me. Today it makes 26 years for me in the military. So 26 years. What they say, 819,936 seconds, 13,665 and 65,600 minutes. 227,760 hours, 9,490 days in 26 years I've been in the military. And I wanted to come on here and get right into the discussion for today. But I hope everybody is doing well. I hope everybody is, with me just battling my sinuses. But besides that, we here, we in it, and we're going to get right into it. But there are some, I was doing some analysis, and yesterday I had a discussion about some irregularities with absentee voting that was observed during the last mayoral election in Marion, Alabama. And I say, you know what, let's do a little bit further deep dive into the numbers. Because the numbers, the numbers going to be what they are. And I just wanted to do an assessment and an analysis on the, basically the Perry County, Alabama 2022 and 2024 voting analysis. And we're going to go directly to sources from the Secretary of State of Alabama. We're going to go to other sources that talk about the population and also talking about the enrollment in schools. That you're going to see that it is important to factor all of those in when we're doing these analysis. And I'm being open, honest, and transparent so people can see where I pulled the data from. And it's not something that I'm making up on my own. I just want to put that disclaimer out there because, I understand that some people they are committed to disagree with truth and facts, but in all fairness, I wanted to be transparent in my efforts so people can see where I'm coming from and provide links and proof where people can go and reference themselves. So here we go. This morning, like I said, I did the Perry County, Alabama 2022-2024 voting analysis. All right, let's get this started. So in 2022, Perry County had 7,753 people registered to vote. And the county had about 7,890 people total. That means that almost everyone in the county was registered to vote. About 98% of about 98 out of every 100 people. Across the whole United States, the average is about 74 out of every 100 people registered. So Perry County number was about 24% higher than the national average, right? So let's go here. And you will see this is from the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis. This is the resident population of Perry County, right? Under the, this the Al per 5 pop. That's what they got. Now, if you see here, this is a graphing chart, right? If you go back in 1970, you can see Perry County had a population of 15,388. Then you see in 80, it was 15,012. Fast forward in 1990, 12,366. Now I'm going all the way down here to 2022. They had a population of 7,893 people. So I just want people to understand that. Now, as we go back to this post. Now, during the 2021-2022 school year, Perry County, Alabama had 1,089 kids in school. And the school that I'm talking about is public school only. This does not include any school that does not fall up under the Perry County Board of Education. So the private schools, the home school, there's still some kids out there, but this only for kids that are in public school. Now, if you subtract the kids, and that 1,089, that represent kids the ages of 5 to 17. If you subtract the kids from the total population, that means that about 6,804 people were old enough to vote in 2022 at most. But Perry County had more registered voters than that. It was about 114%. That means that there were more people signed up to vote than the number of people who should be able to vote, which is unusual and worth looking into. Now, let's go to Ballotpedia. Open that one up. And as you see, Ballotpedia, it comes back, Perry County School District. And it talks about Perry County School District. As you see, they talk about in 2024, they currently have 879 students in the two district schools between R.C. Hatch and Francis Marion. That does not include the number of kids at Breakthrough or any other private schools. So that's like I said, it doesn't include those numbers. It goes and tell you who's all on the school board and what year that their term ends and so on and so on. But I'm going to scroll down. You go past the district max, past the budget, past the school grades, and I'm scrolling down to the students. And as everybody see, from the 2021 to 2022 school year, they had 1,089 kids. So I just want people to see this is where I got my number from. Right. And as you see, we're going to come back to 2020. That's in 2022, 2021 to 2022. As you see, it's 1,089. In 2023 to 2024, they had 879. So let's go back here. In the 2022 primary election, Perry County had the most people voting by absentee ballot, percentage-wise, in all of Alabama. About 22 out of every 100 votes in Perry County were absentee votes. Across the whole state, it was about 3 out of every 100 votes, about 2.9%. That means Perry County used absentee ballots a lot more. That means Perry County used absentee ballots a lot more than the rest of the state, about 7 times more, about 744% higher than the rest of the state. Now, this right here, it goes to the primary elections. This is the official total ballot cast from the Secretary of State page, right? The Secretary of State. This is for 2022. And as you scroll down, they got every county. And I showed this before, but I just want to give people some clarity. It shows the county, the number of registered voters, the number of votes cast, how many Democrat ballots, how many Democratic ballots, how many Republican ballots, how many absentee ballots, the percentage of total voter turnout, and the absentee percentage of the total ballot. And as you see, let's go to Perry County. As you see, Perry County had 7,752 registered voters, right? Then they had 2,890 total ballot cast. Then they talked about how many Democratic votes and how many Republican votes. But right here, the 624, there was out of the 2,890, 624 of them were absentee ballot, which led to 21.6%. Now, if you scroll down at the bottom, you see this is the total for the state. The state average was 2.9%. Perry County was 21.6%. And as we scroll down, I think the next closest one was Wilcox County here. Wilcox County at 17.9%. And 13% was Bullock County. And then you got Lowndes County, 13.7%. So this is the thing that I want people to think about on this, right? This right here is from the Secretary of State. And I want people to just take a look at that, because I'm going to do, while we live, I'm going to do a comparative analysis, right? And a comparative analysis is we're going to look at a county and that I know everybody's familiar with. And that county that we're going to look at is the difference in Tuscaloosa County and got Tuscaloosa County and Perry County. And we're going to look at these numbers. And I want people to look at these numbers, right? And when you look at the numbers, it's going to open your eyes. So for example, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do this. Here we go. We're going to go through, we're going to do a few of them. Perry County, registered voter was 7,752. Their total number of absentee ballot was 624, right? 624, right? Let's go up to Marshall County. They got 64,000 people registered to vote. Their total number of absentee ballot was 311. Let's do one more favorably. Let's do one more favorably. Marengo County, 15,631. That's twice as more. 15,631 people. Twice as many as Perry County. And they had less than half. No, they had about 30%, 1/3 of the absentee ballots that Perry County had. Now, let's do another one. Tuscaloosa County. Tuscaloosa County has 146,275 registered voters. And they had 766 absentee ballots. Their percentage was 3.1%. They only had 142 more total absentee ballots than Perry County. But they had, matter of fact, I'm going to show y'all this. Let me go to the calculator. Let me go to my calculator. $146,275 divided by 7,752. So if y'all see, Tuscaloosa County has 19 times more registered voters than Perry County, but they only had 142 more total absentee ballots in 2022. When we do the analysis of 2024, it's going to blow your mind. But you mean to tell me a county that has 19 times more registered voters only had 142 more total absentee ballots? Now, people are going to say, well, you know, Robert, you just against absentee ballots. That's what it is. You against absentee ballots. No, I'm not. I'm 100% for them. My thing is, why do we have a large concentration? Why does Perry County historically has led the state of Alabama via absentee ballots? with the only exception being the COVID year in 2020? That's just a question. Now I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going so we can keep going into 2024. In 2024, Perry County, Alabama had 7,672 people registered to vote. And the county's estimated population was 7,719 people. That means almost everyone in the county, about 99%, was registered to vote. Across the United States, the average is 73.6. So Perry County registration rate was about 25.4% points higher than the national average. Right, and we saw that we saw the population, and as you see, everybody can go here, 7,719, and we can go back here. You can see 2023 and 2024 school year in Perry County, they had 879 kids in school that between the age of 5 and 17. So we go down here. During the 2023-2024 school year, Perry County, Alabama had 879 kids in school. That means about 6,788 people in the county should have been old enough to vote in 2022. So if y'all see that, right? That means that almost 1,000 people, more people, was registered to vote than actually eligible people in the county. But the voters registration numbers suggest that there were more registered voters than people who could legally vote, about 114%, which is similar to 2022, which is having 114 people registered to vote for every 100 people that should be eligible, right? Right. So in the 2024 primary election, Perry County had the highest share of absentee mail-in votes in Alabama, about 21%, or 21 out of every 100 votes in Perry County were absentee votes, while the state average was about 2 out of every 100. That means Perry County absentee voting rate was about 1,100% higher than the state average. Now let's go to that results. As you see again, I'm back on the Secretary of State.alabama.gov. This is the primary election results in March of 2025, right? This is what it is, right? So let's go to Perry County. As you can see right here, Perry County had 7,678 voters. They had a total of 2,714 total votes. They had 576 absentee votes. That was about 21.22. The state average in 2024 was 1.91%. As you see, Perry County was 21.22%. Now let's go look at this. Let's scroll down. 9% is the next side. That's bullet. Scrolling down, you have Marengo at 8.88. But 9% was the next highest county. And Perry County was twice that at 21.22%. Right now, let's do another comparative analysis, right? Tuscaloosa County had 150,380 registered voters, right? And they had 395 total absentee ballots. Do y'all see right here? Perry County had almost 200 more total absentee ballots than Tuscaloosa County in the primary election, right? And that is about 20 times more. Let me pull up the calculator. Let me go back to my calculator. It's time for the calculator. Whoop, whoop, time for the calculator. So we got 100. I'm sorry if I'm moving too fast. 150,380 divided by 7,678 equals 20 times more. So they had 20 times more voters, but Perry County had almost 200 more total absentee ballots. Now, I did a little further, but I left it at this. If you go and you look at the primary election, the regular election, it drops from like 20-some% down to 20% down to about 13%. And just doing this and looking at the numbers, during the primary, Perry County loves to use absentee ballots. Because see, in primaries, that's where you get your candidate. You get the candidate, you may have multiple people running for the same party. So that's where the typical thing. And in 2022, I already showed how State Senator Bobby Singleton donated a lot of money to entities that Albert Turner owned. Matter of fact, let me pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up so I can show people, because I want people to see that I'm talking about it. That it is what it is. Instead of me just talking. I like to show black and white. I like to show receipts. Just so people, I know I just so I can stay consistent. I'll put it like that. 2022. Let me see. Yeah. All right, 2022. Alabama State Senator. Bobby. Oh, you know what? I ain't got to do that. I can go right here. I'm going to go to the Alabama Secretary of State page. Yep. That's what I'm going to do. Alabama Secretary of State campaign finance report. Here we go. Once you go here, finally you go click on View Electronic Filings. And then you come down here, Principal Campaign Committee Search. Candidate, I'm going Singleton. Bobby. Democratic, I'm going to search. And as you see, he's right here. So I'm going to click on Bobby. Once I click on Bobby, I scroll down to the bottom. And the annual report right here, 2022. Once you click on 2022, you scroll down to the bottom here, and you can say View File Report. So once I click View File Report, this is going to pop up. This right here is the Fair Campaign Practice Act, the state of Alabama. And this is what he filed for 2022, right? Now, I'm about to show you guys something. This goes in all of his expenditures, right? All of his expenditures. I'm scrolling down. This is all of the contributions who gave to his campaign. You can see that, right? And then this right here is all of his expenditures, what he paid out. Now, this is where, right here is where it started to get very interesting, right? And I'm about to show you guys so you guys can see. You guys will be able to see it. And this thing starts to come into light, right? It started to come to light. And so here it go. This is his expenditures, right? This is in 2022, right? And I want y'all to look at the dates. We're going to go down to the date. We got the Emerson Group, right? And I want everybody to understand this. When we say the Emerson Group is really the Emerson Company. The Emerson Group, if you go to the Alabama Secretary of State page, the Emerson Group is registered under in Shelby County, but the Emerson Company is registered to Albert Turner. But I'm going to show you guys right now this address of 105 Bibb Street in Marion. I'm going to show you guys what that address is. I'm going to go to Google, and y'all going to see what address going to pop up. Now, y'all see this, right? 105 Bibb Street. And y'all saw, matter of fact, let me go back to the electronic filing. Now, where is it at? Where is it? I want you back up. As y'all see, they say the Emerson Group, right? That they gave $15,000 to. I just want y'all to see that, right? Right? And everybody know Perry County Civic League, the great chairman, Albert Fitzgerald Turner, is the president, right? So that's $15,000. That's $30,000 right there in November that came into donated by Bobby Singleton. But let's go back to this address right here. Let's look at the street view of this address of 105 Bibb Street. Let's zoom in. I want to zoom in real quick. See, can we zoom in? Y'all see what that say? Albert Turner Enterprises Incorporated. They got a new sign out there right now. But Albert Turner Enterprises Incorporated. Now, my question is, why would they put the Emerson Group and then put Albert Turner Enterprises there? And let's look what he paying them for. Consultant and polling. As a matter of fact, let's go back. I like this page, man. I'm telling y'all, this is that good stuff, right? So when you go here, let me see if I can go back. We go here. These are reports. Let me see. Oh yeah, these are this okay. But do y'all see that? Around those election times, you can go on and you can find who these candidates are giving their money to. Albert gets a lot of money from Bobby Singleton. That's why Albert is always talking about Bobby Singleton, right? And I just want people to understand, how is all of this money? There's a lot, put it like this. There's a lot of money that has come into Perry County around election time from state level officials to entities in Perry County connected to Albert Turner around election time. Large amount of money. In 2022, if I'm not mistaken, it was about $75,000. In September of 2025, there were a donation of about $10,000. It was a donation from Bobby Singleton to entities connected to Albert Turner in September of last year. And you know, we had a runoff election in both Marion and in Uniontown. There was a donation of $7,500 from Bobby Singleton campaign and a donation of $2,500 from Bobby Singleton campaign to entities that's connected to Albert Turner in Marion for consultant fees. So I just want people to understand, if we're wondering, is this coincidental that all of this cash is being brought in around election time, and there's a connection to Perry County having a very large, high number of absentee ballots in the state? Right? I don't know. Mike, I don't know. I don't know nothing about as far as with Jamal Brown. I don't know about that. I can't speak on that. But I just want people to really understand and just start to just take a time to look at all of this, right? Because this stuff is really, it really is connected. And the thing about it is we have been quiet for so long as a community that we just go along to get along, right? And this is the thing, and this is why I'm bringing this up, right? Because when you ask about it, what is the probability of a county to have 114% of their population registered to vote? It is that, you know, that right there speaks to a lot of different things. But one thing I did want to bring up, one thing I did want to talk about, right? Yeah, we saying Ray Charles can see through that, and I agree. But the problem is the community has been saying this for years and people haven't been speaking up. You know why they haven't been speaking up? Because it benefited the people that they supported. What I'm saying is I'm all about a fair and honest election. I'm all about people coming out to vote, people exercising their right to vote, the people having the freedom to vote in any way that they can, right? But I have a problem when we sit there and we know it has been reported that they know people have seen people who no longer lives in Marion, no longer lives in Perry County. They live in Tuscaloosa, they live in Birmingham. They've been residing there for years, but they still come home and vote. Now, how fair is it for somebody who don't have to deal with the infrastructure, don't have to deal with the dirty water, don't have to deal with dirt in their water, don't have to deal with the inconsistencies of basic necessities of life? They don't have to deal with that, but y'all okay with them coming back and voting and supporting the same people that's responsible for the conditions. Like that's responsible for those conditions. And okay, let's do this, right? Since we're here, let's do this. Go to my friend, ChatGPT, and let me see. What does Alabama law say about voting where your place of residency is? Voting where you live. That's what I'm asking, and wait for it to come up. But the reason why it is very important because, you know, do you mean where you must register and vote? Register rules. Tell me specifically, say yeah. Yep, it's looking up right now, but those are the things. And I'm sorry, 4. I'm pulling it up. But what the rules say, okay. All right. Where you must register and vote, register. You must register. This is what it says. You must register and vote where you are actually domiciled, your legal residence. Your domicile is the place you intend to return to and make your permanent home, right? You're registered with the Board of Registers in the county where you live. Your polling place precinct is determined by that registration. Voting and moving and voting. If you move within the same county, you remain eligible to vote in that county. But you should update your registration address with the County Board of Registers so you're assigned the correct precinct. If you move to a different county, you must register in the new county to vote there. You cannot vote in the new county until you complete registration in that county. Y'all hear that? But this is what they do. They using people to say, oh, I own property, I do all of that, and you only see those people come in during voting time. And y'all know I'm not lying on that. And those people are influencing the outcomes of election. If you don't believe it, Uniontown, they just had a runoff for for a city council member where Dudley Long beat Sherman Norfleet by 1 vote. Now, Sherman did challenge that. I saw an article in the Perry County Herald that he challenged that back in September. He had sued, but you ain't hear nothing else about it. Because I know he had Robert Turner Sr. as his attorney representing him, and Sherman said that he made claims that the whole process was corrupt and a mess. But I just wonder why he dropped that if he only lost by 1 vote. Why didn't he continue to push that? Could it be that they told him if he kept pushing it, they were going to have to redo the whole election? So he was told to buy out by those people that's in position of influence. Could it be that? Because all of a sudden it went away. Y'all know I got the article. All of a sudden that went away. We haven't heard anything else back from that. And Councilwoman Dudley Long is doing a great job representing her district in Uniontown. But there was a lawsuit that was brought, and we haven't heard anything. Now, there's some questions that I want to talk about, right? One thing I do want to say, just looking at the numbers, this doesn't automatically mean someone voted illegally, but it does make people wonder if the county voters list is being kept updated and accurate. Here are some questions to think about. Why does Perry County have more registered voters than the number of people who should be able to vote? In both 114% in both 2022 and 2024. Why? Number 2, why was Perry County absentee voters so much higher than the state average? About 744% higher in 2022 and 1,100% higher in 2024. With the next election in May, on May 19, 2026, what percent of Perry County votes do you think will be absentee ballots? What percentage? Because I'm telling you right now, I predict that this year absentee ballots registration and everything is going to be crazy, especially in District 1 of the Perry County Commission vote. Because Albert know he don't have a chance of straight up. He know he doesn't have a chance of straight up. That's why y'all see all of this stuff. And speaking of Albert, because I hope y'all didn't think that I was going to let him go. Listen, let's go to it. Let's get to this. I just want y'all, let's get to this. This thing is crazy work. Crazy work. Here we go. All right. He just posted this morning, 2 hours ago. All flags should be flown at, no, let's go to yesterday. He said this yesterday. He said, I'm aware and do not anticipate the president to order flags at half-staff. I do, however, expect the governor to issue such an order. In the event of an oversight, I will direct flags to be flown at half-staff in honor of the renowned humanitarian Reverend Justin Jackson until the conclusion of his funeral service at the Perry County buildings. Sincerely, Albert Turner Jr., Chairman. Now I'm about to show you guys something. And I'm going to black and white, right? Because put like this, I'm going to black and white. Yeah, and Jeff, you're right. People living in Huntsville, Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, and still bragging about voting in Uniontown, right? And all because they family members may get, that $25 or $40, $50 or $100 and come home. But you know what's funny? they living in Huntsville and they under they under the power company up there, and them folks paying $150 a month for their power company because they're not on Alabama Power. So they don't deal with the water issues or the infrastructure issues. Huntsville don't have the bad roads that we have. Huntsville have everything. Everything. They got an airport. They got public transportation. They got malls. They got grocery stores. They got universities. They got colleges. They got great paying jobs. I mean, great paying jobs. They got federal jobs. They got private business. I mean, they got Fortune 500 companies up there. The median household income in Huntsville was $53,000 in back in the 90s when I was up there. So like, I just want people to understand that, right? Like, you allow, they living their best life up there and not having to deal with the realities of the people that live back there. And y'all just okay with them coming to do that. But I'm asking, in Alabama, who is responsible? Who controls or directs the flag to be flown half-mast for county government buildings? And that's why I'm waiting on that to come, and I'm gonna show you guys. So I'm just showing you. I'm showing you guys. Right? All right. Here we go. Here we go right here. Y'all can see. In Alabama, who controls or directs the flag to be flown half-mast for county government buildings? In Alabama, the authority to direct flying of the flag at half-mast depends on which flag is being flown and which government entity is responsible for the building. Here's the breakdown. United States and state of Alabama flag. For county building displaying the U.S. flag and the Alabama state flags, the Alabama governor, the governor of Alabama, has the authority to direct the Alabama state flag be flown half-staff. Right? When the governor issues such a proclamation, all state and local government buildings, including county offices, are expected to comply. The U.S. flag is lowered to half-staff under the direction of the President of the United States or by the governor for state-specific observance per the U.S. flag code. And they give this the source right here. The U.S. flag code, the Code of Alabama, 1-2-5. The governor may, by proclamation, direct the flag of the state of Alabama to be flown half-staff upon the death of a present or former state official or other persons of merit, as he or she may direct. The U.S. Code, Flag Code 4 U.S. Code 7 authorizes the president and the governor to order the U.S. flag to half-staff in certain situations. Now let's get here. County or local flags. If a county has its own flag, the county commission or equivalent governing body would have local authority to direct it to lower to half-staff. Right? The U.S. flag. Who can lower the U.S. flag? The president or the Alabama governor. Who can lower the state flag? The Alabama governor. If it's a county flag, then it's the county commission, not the goddamn chairman of the county commission. So this is why I say this. This being flown at half-mast, Albert Fitzgerald Turner is willingly and openly violating the law by doing it because he does not have the authority, That was not a vote by the Dunn commission, because there's not a Perry County flag flown. It is the United States flag and it's the Alabama flag. There is no issue, no proclamation being issued by Kay Ivey or President Trump. And this man has gone rogue again, just so he can ride the coattail off of the death of somebody for his own bidding. For his own bidding. That don't make you upset? The man can't even respect the man in his own death. He reported about him and then had to make it about him. Talking about, man, respect his memory. But you got to make it about yourself. That's sickening and it's severely disrespectful. But you get on here and you know what? You know what, Albert? I appreciate this evidence, because what the community need to do, they need to go and screenshot that right now. Go to his page and screenshot it. And let's report that to the ethics committee. Because he does not have the authority to do that. He does not. And this is not about, there's different ways that you can honor Reverend Jesse Jackson, according to what the law say. You don't have the right to do that on your own, and you're going to make an announcement. I anticipate, I'm aware and do not anticipate the president to order flags at half-mast, half-staff. It's half-mast, not half-staff. I do, however, expect the governor to issue such an order. In the event of an oversight, I will direct, because I'm the chairman, I'm the president of Perry County, I will direct the flag to flown at half-staff, even though it's half-mast, in honor of the renowned humanitarian, Reverend Jesse Jackson, until the conclusion of his funeral at all Perry County buildings. You do not have the authority. You don't. The only authority you have, the highest authority that you've ever had, my boy, is being chairman to oversee the meetings at the Perry County Commission. That's it. The disrespect, man. You just use somebody else's death just so you thinking it will put you in a better position. All because you don't want to do the right thing and just go ahead on and take a knee, man. Go ahead on and bow out, bro. Go ahead on and bow out. Your time is up, my boy. Your time is up. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you try to put out about me. It's not going to work, Albert. It's not going to work. The people see you for who you are. They see your desperation. They know what it is. And you and they watching you and you know it. That's why you ain't drive that kind of vehicle to the game yesterday. Because you knew somebody was waiting to see you in it. The community watching you, my boy. All that stuff you got away with before them days over with. The community is tired. The community is tired. Oh, and the other commissions didn't vote on it. They did not vote on that. That's just Albert being rogue. Okay, if they voted on it, they had their last meeting last Tuesday. They had their last meeting last Tuesday. Just being under it. They had their last meeting last Tuesday. And them having their last meeting last Tuesday, there wasn't no vote on this. They didn't have a special emergency meeting. There was no emergency meeting call. So how could the commission even make that call? And even if they did, they can only control the county flag, not the state. Governor Kay Ivey is the only one with the authority to do the state flag. And the president is the only, well, the president and the governor are the only one to do it for certain reasons. And they haven't done it. It's not an oversight. You just want to look like you want to pander to the people that support the work of the civil rights movement like you still doing it. And that's the only reason why you doing it. And shame on you, man. God dog, man. I mean, it don't make no sense for somebody to be 62 years old and the level of how low you go, man. You don't care. You don't care at all, as long as you can try to get some credit for it. But the sad thing is you never take responsibility. It's a doggone shame. It's a doggone shame for real. It's a doggone shame. And I want to make sure. I want to make sure we get back to it because I don't want to get off of it. Now, all these people, these notary republics, people going to be watching. You got one notary republic that doing 500-600 absentee ballots that's handled by the same people. It's a notary republic that's a close associate to the chairman. And I'm talking to you, Jeff Easley. I'm talking to you because of the list that I talked about yesterday. Your name was associated with those 54 names. That you and Albert, they say you and Albert was reported that you and Albert handled. And some people on that list didn't live here. And this is another thing. It was reported to me as well that somebody saw a list of the absentee and they saw their grandparents on there, their grandfather on there. He was dead 2 years ago. How we addressing those people that are dying? How are we purging that list? How? What are we doing? Because we still I'm going here. Let me go. And let me go here. This is talking about the population. So if I'm coming here, look at it. It's averaging about 200 people a year that's leaving. 200 people a year that's leaving Perry County. If 200 people leave in Perry County and the national average is about 7 out of every 10 people are registered to vote, then why we continue to have all of these people registered to vote? Are we intentionally not purging the list to make it right? Listen, I understand there's some people who leave, they're coming back, but I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about those people that may leave and go live with a family member for a temporary period of time, or they go and be a caregiver for somebody. Listen, I understand that. I'm talking about those people that have moved and they've been living 20, 30 years and still coming back to vote just to help people out. No, that's not how the law's written. You're supposed to register to vote. And why would you want to vote where you live at either? You ain't got no voice up there. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And this is the thing. The thing is, people don't like talking about this type of stuff. This is the type of stuff people don't like talking about. Why? Because, it's boring. It ain't this, that, and the third. This is how they manipulate elections. So I want people to understand this, right? I want people to understand this. I'm going to the I'm going back to the 2024 election. This is how we can solve that problem. And this is why I've been talking about it. This is why I want the whole community to recognize the importance of coming out to vote. There you go. This is the primary election. In the primary election, Perry County, this is 2022. They had 7,752 people registered to vote. Only 2,890 people came out to vote. So that's about 5,000 people that didn't vote, right? That's only 37%. So that means that, what it is, 72% of the population eligible to vote didn't vote. Do you know what would happen if just 50% more of people came out to vote? It would eliminate those absentee ballots. See, the reason why those absentee ballots swing elections, see, Albert Turner won, he won the last election for commissioner against Mayor Dexter Hinton brother. He won the last election off 101 absentee ballot votes. Off 101. Now, what if we had 200 more people in that district that actually came out to vote? That's the game changer. That right there is the game changer. I'm all for absentee ballot for those that it is. But the way that the absentee ballots are used in Perry County, we need people to come out and vote. Come out to vote. Come out to vote. I'm telling you, look, I want people to understand this. I want people to understand this. Look at this. The entire state of Alabama, there's 3,638,986 people in 2022 that was registered to vote. 851,684 people, right? 23.4%. Do y'all know what that means? That means that 23.4% decided what the outcome and what was going to go on in the government for the entire state. That means that 76.6% of the people allowed, hold on, let me pull out my calculator. Let's get at it. 3,638,986 times, let's say 76.4 times 0.764. So 2,780,185 people allowed 851,000 people to control and tell them what's going on in the state, because they were the ones to vote. And listen, and I'm going to tell y'all what the facts is, and people don't like to see it. Wilcox County had the second highest with absentee ballot in 2022 at 17.9%. Majority African Americans. Perry County, 21.6%. Majority African Americans. What's the other one was? Lowndes County, 13.7%. Majority black. Y'all see what I'm saying? Bullock County, 13.4%. Look at the demographics. Now, Robert, what you saying about that? What you saying? That's just what the numbers say. That the places in Alabama with the highest numbers of absentee ballots to impact elections, to determine elections, comes from Democratic, black, majority African American communities. Facts. Those are the facts. And we go to those communities. If you sit down and do the analysis, the majority of the absentee ballots go to support people who already been recycled, already been in part of the clique that's responsible for the conditions and the plight of our communities. You never see an overwhelming number of absentee ballots going for people that are coming in. Most of the absentee ballot in the city election in Marion went to support Dexter. Now look what y'all dealing with. The same conditions that y'all had before. Right? Shoot, in Uniontown, when I say crazy work, I mean crazy work. I think my sister Portia had 73 absentee ballots. Ron Miller had 289. Hold on. Let me see. I'll tell you exactly. I'll tell you exactly what he had. Give me a second. I'll tell you exactly what he had because I did an analysis of it. And here you go. Ron Miller in the Uniontown mayor election. In the primary election for mayor, Ron Miller got 105 absentee ballots. It was 105. My sister Portia got 60. In the runoff election, Ron Miller went from 105 to 289 absentee ballot votes. My sister Portia went from 60 to 73. Do y'all hear that? That was a Ron Miller had more votes via absentee ballot. He had 267 votes at the poll. He had 289 votes via absentee ballot. He went from 105 absentee ballots in the primary to 289 in the runoff. He went from 142 at the polls in the primary to 267. My sister Portia, she went from 400 at the polls in the primary to 481 at the runoff at the poll, and she went from 60 in the absentee to 73. Yeah. So when you look at the numbers, right, that's crazy. And Uniontown, they had 35%, 362 out of the total 1,037 people that's voted were via absentee ballots. Those are the numbers. And when you look at those numbers, right, it just doesn't make sense. Now, do you think that accurately reflect the will of the people that actually voted? Or was the results the will of the people that manipulated? Because Chairman Albert Fitzgerald Turner said in a comment that I was just mad because he interjected himself and his resources into the Uniontown election that led to my sister being defeated. He said it, and y'all know I got a receipt and screenshot of it. This man admitted to injecting himself and his resources. And I asked him, what do you mean by your resources? Does those resources align with the $10,000 that Bobby Singleton donated to your entities? That $7,050 donation to one of your the Emerson Company, and then the 2025 $2,500 one that was donated to an entity that your name is associated with, either you're the president or you're part of. So for a total of $10,000. So did you mean that's what you meant by your resources? Or is that all just circumstantial and coincidental? Now, you said it, Albert. I got your words of you said that you inserted yourself and your resources into the Uniontown election. You said that now, my boy. Those are your words now. I ain't say that. I'm just asking the question after you presented that valuable information. Now, I just want people to sit down and think about that and look on this thing and ponder this for a little bit, right? Because this is invaluable, and I want the community to know that when we're dealing with this and we're doing these analysis, right, There's no implications of any illegal voting going on, but it does raise some concerns because this just don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. It doesn't make any sense. And this is the other thing. This is for symbolism for you too, my boy, Albert Turner. You see the hat say Alpha, right? You see the hat that say Alpha? You see the hat that say Alpha, and this is why I'm wearing that hat for you, my boy. Because I know you're watching, or whoever watching for you, they're gonna relay this to you. So I want you to see this, and I want you to hear it directly from me. Because see, I would not coward out and not call your name directly when I'm speaking to you. Right? I will speak directly to you just like I did when I was in your presence. This is not being threat. This is not a threat. This is not being argumentative or anything. This is me operating as a grown man standing on business. The reason why I can wear Alpha is because there are some things and some confidence that come when you do this. If you always put in the work to earn who you've become, you never have to pretend or try to convince yourself you're something more. I'm not a wannabe who would never be. I'm somebody that put in the work to become who I am, and I can walk confident in that. And I will confidently continue to advocate on the behalf of the community. Not just because I have love for the community, because the community will soon be my home at the end of next week, my boy. At the end of next week. At the end of next week. And you got all of these promises out here. You talking, you doing everything. You talking, you doing everything. And Albert, I want to know this. With your plans to go to the National Association of Counties, where you said that you were being honored, where it hadn't been confirmed or anything on it. But I did send a note to them requesting to see if they were going to honor anybody, but I haven't heard back from them. What's your plans on, you say you're planning to go to the funeral for Reverend Jesse Jackson. Who paying for that? Because the county shouldn't pay for that. Won't you use some of that money from the $2 million that you said, the couple $1 million that you said you had at the breakfast? Won't you use your money for that, my boy? Won't you go ahead on and do that? You know, but I would tell you this. Number one, the county does not have the authority to fly those flags, so he just lying. Like, that's just, I'm not shocked, but what is saddening to me is the people that see him do this, you present them with the information that is wrong, and they still will willingly defend it, right? Those are what we call lost souls, right? And I will share this with you guys. I will share this analogy. Albert, you love to talk about me leaving home. You mentioned that before. But I'm going to share this story with you. Here's a biblical story about the prodigal son. You know, the prodigal son, just want to give some people preference. Some context. The prodigal son, the story of the prodigal son, to me, I read it from a sense of, I read it, what we say, from the both ends of the stick. The prodigal son was very disrespectful towards his father. It doesn't say that in that sense, but when you read the story and you understand things and you understand cultural context and historical context of things, it brings things into light. And what I mean by he was very disrespectful towards his father is he went to his father as if his father was dead to him by asking for his inheritance, because you only get your inheritance when your parents pass away. And he basically went to his father like that, basically, give me what you're going to give me when you die, so he can go out there and do his own thing. And he got out and he did his own thing, and he went down and they said, he had frivolous living, and he was out there in the clubs, turning up, popping bottles. Everybody was with him when he had money. But then when his money ran out, he ain't had nobody else to hang out with, and he got hungry. The Bible said that he was working, but he was working to the point to where he said he got so hungry that he was considered eating the same food, the slop that the hogs eat. Now, I didn't personally grow up raising hogs, but I had family members that did. Now, if you know about a hog pen, you know about that, you save the food, the scraps of what you ate, and you put it in a pan. You put it in a bucket. Once you get done, before you do it, you don't throw that food in the trash. You slide it on into that bucket. And y'all know what that, if those that are familiar, you know what I'm talking about, you know what that bucket smell like. You know what that food smell like. Now think about how hungry you got to be to even consider eating that food of the hog, that hog was eating. Then the Bible said he came to himself. And then he thought, I would rather be a servant in my father's house. They get treated better than this. So when he returned home, the prodigal son who went out and blew everything, who was disrespectful to his father saw him and ran to him. And the Bible said he put a robe on him, restored him back to the position of his son, and told his people to go kill an animal, and they're going to have a big feast. The prodigal son didn't even want to come back to be restored as a son. He came back with the mindset of a servant because he realized the treatment that he could have got was that of a servant. He would have been treated better of that of a servant. Now, what I want to talk about is that little funky brother that he got. Because see, his brother got jealous when the son came back home. Because the brother got jealous that the father would go back and embrace that son that came back home with a mindset of service, with a mindset to be a servant. That brother got jealous because he was well received. That brother got jealous because that son came back with the mindset to be a servant and didn't want to be restored as a son. The brother got jealous because he was jealous in his own right. And that brother felt that just because he stayed, he should have got the honor. And the father just said, you never asked. Now, Albert, I shared that because why are you so pressed about me coming home with a mindset to be a servant to the community? Why are you so pressed about how I'm received by the community? Why does that press you? Why are you so pressed that God allowed me to go out into the world, to be developed, to be trained, to be built up, to develop skill sets, to come back home and advocate and speak for and be a voice for the people and have a heart of service for the people? Why are you so pressed about what God has anointed me to do? And you the same little jealous brother that's at home that mad because you want credit for saying, I ain't go nowhere. I stayed home. The reason why you stayed home because you couldn't handle it out on your own. Everything you got connected to somebody else doing something for you. Don't be jealous and mad at me because I did it on my own. I ain't had to ride the coattail of my family name to make it. I ain't had to pull no political strings to earn everything that I got. We ain't in the same boat, my boy. It's not the same. It's not the same. So stop getting jealous. Stop talking about me leaving. I joined the military because I flunked out of college, because I ain't go to class at A&M, because I was too preoccupied of having extracurricular activities involving the opposite sex. That's why I flunked out. I ain't afraid to say that. My dad ain't called up to the school, be like, let them stay. No. What I did was I myself took full accountability of the stupid decision that I made. And I made a decision that my parents aren't responsible for my stupidity. So I said that I was going to do something to pay for my own school. And you know what, Albert? My parents ain't pay a dime for my education. I still got my degree. You know I'm intelligent. You know that. You know that firsthand. Because you messed around and found out, did you? And you sure wish you didn't. You can say you didn't, but I know you sure wish you didn't. I've been warning you for years, but you thought it was sweet over here. You thought it was sweet over here. It ain't sweet, ain't it? It sure ain't sweet, especially when God's anointing is behind it. Boy, I ain't saying nothing about me being perfect. No, that ain't what I'm coming on. I'm telling you, it's a divine assignment, but you still don't want to understand it. You still don't understand it, but you ain't got to. Don't be that jealous brother that stayed because you want credit because you stayed home. The reason why you stayed home because you couldn't leave. You couldn't survive on your own. Stop being jealous of other people that did. Because guess what? You need people to leave and come back because they got new ideas. They see things differently. Some people that ain't seen me in a couple months, I done lost weight. They like, dang, man, you lost weight. Like, yeah, I know. I've been putting in the work. Somebody was like, man, you on Ozempic? Like, no, man, I just really changed my diet. I really changed my diet. That's what it is. But see, Albert, this is me talking to you directly. And everything I do, I talk to you directly. I don't talk in code. I don't talk in none of that other stuff. What I talk to you directly as a man, as a grown man. I ain't coming at you, throwing rocks and hiding my hand. I ain't got nobody else trying to come at you for me. I come directly. And I've been consistent with that. Only thing I'm asking you to do is, if you're going to talk about me, say my name. Say my name. Because I'm definitely saying yours, Albert Fitzgerald Turner Sr. That's your name, not Albert Turner Jr. Because if it was Albert Turner Jr., then it would be on court documents, legal documents, and it's not. Albert Turner Jr. is a ploy from you to ride the coattail of your father's name so that you can remain and have political relevance. Because you can't do it on your own merit. And that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb. And you know that. That's why you done spent your whole time fighting to get everything named Albert Turner. And it's senior, but it's really to play on you. And you just with disrespect. You already shown you was disrespectful to my father, my deceased father. But you've been disrespectful to other people. You talk about people's illnesses. You talk about people that. But man, you can't even allow Reverend Jesse Jackson, you can't even give them that space. Shame, like really shame on you. And what you mad about, Albert, is the community see it. And not only the community see it, and I told you this, not only you're the talk of the town, right? Not only are you the talk of the town, you're the talk of the state. Albert, I want to show you something. And I want you to see it. Because, see, I want you to see it because you need to know this. You need to know this. I want you to know this, my boy. I want you to know how many people see you for who you are. I want you to know that. And here you go. Within the last month, Albert, you see how many views that is? 2,295,012 views in the last month. In the last month. 2,295,000. Last week, it was 1.2 million. Albert, the word getting out about you. The world know about you. I know you wanted to be famous, but you ain't like this type of famous, did you? You love people talking about you, but that goddamn accountability, man, that thing hit a little different, don't it? And it ain't personal. It's not. But you will be held accountable. And I told you, every time you lie, I'm coming. Because I'm retired, I ain't got nothing else to do. Man, y'all see how God did that thing, man. Boy, if you knew how God set this thing up, if you knew how he did it, it'll make you just say, you know what? Thank you. And I'm going to tell you how God's going to do it. God's going to do it through a coalition of people of different religion, different faith, different political affiliations, different pigmentations, different skin tone, different ages, different backgrounds, different ideologies. God's going to bring change in the black belt through a coalition of people that's going to come together and work together as a community. And no racial division, no, all of them old stupid tactics will not work. They're not going to work. So you can come with it all you want to. It will be shot down right where it's at because the community is tired and the community will demand better. And the black belt is going to become a beacon of prosperity so the nation will see. Because we got the resources. We have, as a community, have recycled the same old incompetent people in there for years, and that's been our problem. But the rising tide is coming right now, and it's not about an individual. It's about the collective, and the collective is coming. The collective will get results, and when these politicians see it, they gonna fall in line because they know that they gonna come for them. But Albert, don't be mad and be that old bitter brother that stayed at home and mad because the other brother went out in the world and came back with the heart of a servant. That's why his father embraced him. That's why his father restored him. So no matter what you got to say about me, no matter what you got to try to put out about me, no matter what it is, Albert, it's not going to work. You know why? Because the Bible said, touch not my anointed and do my prophets no harm. I'm not claiming to be a prophet, but I will proclaim the word of God. And the word of God stands on what it is. The word of God is truth. The word of God is wisdom. The word of God is understanding. The word of God restores. The word of God uplifts. The word of God holds to account. The word of God don't sugarcoat. This ain't time for no kumbaya. It's time to get right, church, and let's go home. You guys have a great and blessed day. God bless.